employment experts. Jenny, thanks so much for talking to us this afternoon. We just heard about those Debenhams job losses, 2,500 jobs across stores and in warehouses. These last few months have been very difficult for those who work on the high street, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been awful, really. But the thing to remember for them is that a role has been made redundant, not themselves. They, as people, are still very valuable members of society, and for them to start thinking about how they can contribute again.
Now, there are so many people currently looking for work, and you are battling against other people working in very similar industries. As we said, manual industries have been hit quite badly. So how do you compete against thousands of other people looking for the same role?
Yeah, I come across this as a career coach all the time. And I think the first thing to think about is it's not about replacing the role, it's about thinking about your own transferable skills. So if you've been working in retail, you'll have cultural awareness from working with lots of different people and having lots of different customers. You'd have handled queries, you'd be a good team worker. How can you transfer those skills into new roles? So not exactly competing for the same role or looking for the same role again is a starting point.
And have you got any tips? Sorry to interrupt you there, Jenny. Have you got any tips on how you could stand out then?
Yeah, I think in terms of standing out, there's a lot of video calls now and video interviews. I think what you wear can help you stand out. I think the way you talk about yourself and bring your skills together can help you stand out. And I think diversity is so much more important than it's ever been for organisations to be more creative and innovative in their solutions and think about your customers. So the things that perhaps you hid away, maybe you were young, maybe you were old, maybe you came from a diverse background or think differently, these are the things to bring to the fore now and celebrate as an advantage to organisations.
It's interesting that you bring up video calls, because for so many of us, we've never had to do an interview via video call before. So I'm sure there are many people that are worried about getting their best selves across in a scenario such as that. Other than the clothes you wear, are there any other tips for those who perhaps have to do these interviews via video call?
Well, I think just remember where you're looking. Make sure you're looking at that camera and that green light that most of us have. Really set your stage so that you've got a clear background. Do tell your family or whoever you live with to keep it quiet and stay off the streaming so that you'll have a good signal. But also there's lots of advantages to it because you can have notes. You could put some post-it notes around the screen or even have another screen up, which you don't normally have the advantage of that in an interview. And practice, practice, practice. You can record yourself a lot now, so practice and see what you look like to the person who'll be interviewing you.
All right, Jenny, thanks very much for all those tips. I'm sure they'll come in very handy to a lot of our viewers. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, Charlene.
Scottish peoples are starting to go back